All right, let's keep it going here. We still have some draft picks to sign, but Nolan Arenado is out, which is just crazy to me. We do have some roster adjustments that we need to make really quickly, especially now that we brought in De La Cruz. So that is the 2 in AAA. They put themselves $21 million in the hole. See, that's what I was thinking too about that particular trade with the Cubs. It's like, can they even afford to do this? And the answer might have been no. All right, Bernal's really struggling there. Send him down. Baker's slightly hurt. That's fine. We'll bump up BJ Murray. Who again was a part of that return, which is hilarious. Second base, third base. I mean, yeah, we are tanking. Make no mistake about that now. We are tanking. Let's bump up Ramon Mendoza. And we'll leave it at that. If they couldn't, the game should have said no. That's true. So I presume they were able to financially do the trade. Still just weird, though. Bump you up to AAA. Shortstop, Wynn and Hellman, that's fine. How long is Barrero out for? 6 months. So 2 in triple, 2 in double, 2 in single, that's fine. So the outfield, Vierling. Nootbaar's out for 1 to 2 months. So we got Vierling, Burleson, and Antico. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy. Right. Congrats to Zane Mills. Welcome to the bigs, brother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3. Oof. We are running low on starting pitching. Let me tell you. All right. Let's keep focusing on these picks here. How the hell did we just sweep San Diego in 4 games? All right. James Bond. Very much looking like he's a B prospect. Fritz is that much closer to being a C prospect, which isn't great. And then Alvarez especially looks like he could be a gigantic miss. I don't know if I'm even going to want to sign these guys. I mean, I'm running low on time now. We actually have now 1 player too many in the system, so we'll get rid of Rob Kaminsky and just release him. How the hell are you worth 600K? What? How the hell? How the hell is he worth that much? Let's get rid of you. Don't worry, Rob. For 600K, you're going to be staying. All right. So it is the 2 extra days. Last time before the window closes. I mean, James Bond very much looking like a B potential. He's worth signing for that reason. So I mean, the slot value has him at a 7.76. Motivation to sign obviously goes up the more we give him. Let's see if he takes that deal. And he did. So James Bond, welcome in. Derek Fritz, very likely a C potential. We might as well sign him. Like, I need some people in the mix, you know? And he does sign. But Alvarez and then some of these other guys as well, I mean, they're all just best guess. So we'll see what happens here in terms of how many guys we even end up signing. Trade deadline day, though, we've done our damage. Apparently no other big trades went down either. So let's see. Sam Alvarez definitely looks like he is going to suck, but that is okay. Let's just give him as much money as we can. Yeah, he declined anyway. That's fine. Perfectly fine. Super early thoughts. So far, somewhat similar experience for franchise. The biggest thing was free agency, which we haven't gotten to yet. Wow, Tanner Monroe declined as well. Okay, that's fine. Mr. Swanger does end up signing. Patrick Cloud also ends up signing. And then Chris Bonds also ends up signing. Okay, so only one guy rejected. But yeah, it is similar to what it had been the prior year. I'm still a little bit surprised at some of the trade logic or lack thereof, some could argue. I'm a little bit worried about some of those things and some of the way the AI have been reacting. We get a look at James Bond, our first ever first-round pick. 21 years old, B potential, 62 overall. That's not too bad. Only has 3 pitches as a starter, but it's not too bad. It's a piece. Derek Fritz, as expected, not so hot. Not so hot. And that's okay. I'm not too attached to like, oh my God, this first draft needed to be a home run. He is just a dude. Josh Swanger. Wow. Hello. Okay, well, we got a pretty big steal in the 4th round with Swanger. 18 years old, 73 overall, and a B potential. Well, there's Helsley's replacement already. It's Josh Swanger. Patrick Cloud behind him is atrocious. And Chris Bonds is just a guy. But, yeah, you're right. Fritz does have a knuckleball on him, too. But, yeah, the big pick of the draft, easily 1 potential point away from being an A. It's Josh Swanger. As we missed out on Monroe and Alvarez. Let us move the webcam up this way. And apparently I'm James Bond now. There you go. Let's take a look at some other teams, see how the drafting looks across the league. Very rough draft for the Cardinals. They did not get a single B potential, or for the Cardinals, Jesus Christ. It was a rough draft for the Cardinals, in fairness. Very rough draft for the Diamondbacks. Not a single B potential guy. Nobody with a crazy rating either. Holy shit. And then there's the Colorado Rockies with Sam Finnegan, who was the 4th overall pick. 18 years old, 65 overall, 95 potential. Ted Samuel, 60 overall at 22, 94 potential. Closer David Valito at 18 years old, a 65 overall. Even Parra's a 66 at 18. And then they also got starting pitcher Elvis Camacho. Apparently the Rockies have figured out how to draft because in 24 they were terrible. That is a home run draft class for them, man. Essentially four guys with an A potential. The Dodgers missed out with Quintero. Decent pick in Danny Turner. He's a 56, but he's young enough to turn it around. Same for Andrew Taylor. He's young enough to turn it around. And then John Fenner. He's too old at that overall. Probably won't make it, but like 2 okay picks with Taylor and Turner. The Padres. B potential for Edgar Casto. 70 overall. Omar Rodriguez, young enough to develop. And same for Octavio Salas. Decent draft for them. Not too bad. San Fran. Oof. Rory Best was ironically their best player. He is a 46 overall at 21 years old. He is not going to make it. Absolutely not. Baltimore adds Robert Day, but he's 23 and only a 57. Julio Nunez, much better pick. 57 overall at 18. And then at the bottom, Alexis Alonso. 18 years old, 60 overall, 95 potential. So Baltimore gets a major Major third-round steal in the form of Alexis Alonso. Wow. He's got some work to do, but damn. Boston adds Brian Luther. 55 at 22, only a B. Alfredo Machado, 65 overall at 22 and a B. And they also drafted a Ruth. You looked at... Yeah, I did look at Alonso too, and I didn't take him. Should have. Hindsight's a bitch, ain't it? The Yankees get Elliott Jackson, and that is it. And he's got a long development road ahead of him. A pretty brutal draft in New York. Tampa adds Evan Sinecor, 22 and a 65. That's okay. But another team with a potential steal, Anton Medeiros, 52 at 19, a potential. I mean, he's got time to develop. And they did not end up signing Paul Phillips. Toronto adds Michael Gardner. Good pick. At that age, overall and potential. Adam Towers. Good pick. Somebody mentioned Adam Towers in chat, too. Good pick. 71 overall at 22. And then they also got James Bryan, but his overall is a little bit low for him to become a super high-end reliever. The White Sox blew it. They absolutely blew it. They did add Daryl Fader, but he's 22 and only a 53. God-awful draft for the White Sox. Arguably their best player here is Johnny Carlisle because he's a 70 at 18 years old. Very rough draft. Cleveland. Oof. Don't get a B potential player until Alexi Reyes, who is a 42 overall at 18 years old. Very rough draft in Cleveland. Detroit adds Drew Young, who is solid. 1862. It's good. Rene Baroa. It's okay. Overall is a little bit low at that age, but not too bad. Michael Gomez. Same thing. Overall is a little bit low, but not too bad. And then that was that. They unsigned, or did not sign Marcus Sanchez. Kansas City, not a single B potential player. Some of the C's had a decently high overall to start, like Tony Gonzalez, but not much going on there. Minnesota, holy. We could have ended up with them. Elijah Hood, 72 overall at 18 years old, a potential. Catcher and outfielder, Elijah Hood. Wow. Great pick for the Twins. They also get, great name, Barry Bullington. Low overall, but he's only 18. Joe Calderon, also decent. Really good draft for Minnesota with those three players. Really, really good. Shout out to Maddie, 17 months on the primer. Maddie, welcome back. Very happy to still have you here. I hope you have been well. Notable players, Francisco Lawrence is pretty much the only one there for the Astros. By the way, the Astros City Connect jersey this year, oh my God. Oh my God, that City Connect jersey is unbelievable. I hate that I like the Astros in some way, but I like them because of that uniform. It is insane. Insane, I say. Let's see, the Angels. Big players, Edgar De Silva. Not bad. And then William Tyler. Overall's too low at that age. So yeah, big player for them. Edgar De Silva. The Athletics. No Oakland. Julio Alvarez. Okay, but just misses the cut for a B. Fernando Cervantes. Not bad. Not great. Chris Gilbert. Solid pick. And then Ned Kind overall is so low at 21 years old. Damn. There's a new one. Yeah, they this will be old news by the time this hits the YouTube side of things. But yeah, the Astros had a new City Connect leak courtesy of a bobblehead. And I think those are 10 out of 10. I got to be honest. I think those are absolutely incredible. Going with the off-white, of course. Colors just pop. I think that's a 10 out of 10. Gotta be honest. Seattle with Gene Haku. Good pick. 65 at 21. Jason Leahy. Good pick. Needs a little bit of time to develop. Hans Hairston. I guess Jerry had a German excursion. Good pick. He's going to take a while to develop. He's fast as hell. And that's that. Texas with Stephen Young is okay. He's 23 and only a 64. Daniel Gonzalez, good pick. Really good pick. Atlanta, Jeff Ullman, good pick. Wallace Perez, good pick. And Darren Drake, good pick. So they got some relievers. Miami. So Vern Erdman's not bad for like overall at age, but the potential only being a C is pretty rough. God damn it, Cheesehead, go away. Go away. Shoo. Thank you. Anthony Whitfield, overall is a little bit low at that age. Not too bad. Steven Campaneris, overall is a little bit low at that age to be anything crazy. Dan Montez, not bad. Decent draft for the Marlins. The New York Mets add just one B potential player. It's Floyd Rosa at catcher, and he's got a ways to go to develop. Philly adds Estevan Hernandez. His overall is way too low at 23 years old. But then they get Antonio Franco at shortstop, and that could be a big steal of the draft. He's got a long time to develop, but he's 18, so not bad. Washington, the first overall pick, Anton Reeves, 2169, only a B. He's not bad. Certainly not bad, but not insane. He's not like that much better than who we ended up with. Really good C potential player Brian Ochoa with that starting overall. Eric Goodson, good pick. Not bad for Washington. The Cubs add Willie Diaz, solid. Drew Cruz, really good. 73 at 21 is fantastic. Nate Herrera, okay. Obviously a lot of development time needed. Same for Chris Pereira, but they got some good players for the short-term future and long-term. Cincy adds Kevin Burris, who is 58 at 22 is not great. They get Roger Benjamin, who is a 63 at 18. That is pretty good, though. Milwaukee, Sammy Diaz, good pick. 18 and 64 overall. And they also get Juan Francisco, but he's only a 50 at 22 years old, so. Pittsburgh did not sign their first-round pick in catcher Kevin Kaiser, but they did bring in Luther Fagan, 22 years old, as a closer. Good pick there. They also got Matt Saul, who, again, overall is a bit low at his age. Joe Butler, overall, is definitely low at his age. That brings us back to us. So, all in all, we had an okay draft. I don't think we had, like, the worst draft class of the bunch or anything like that. We definitely didn't have the best draft class of the bunch, though, either. So, there is that element. We do have a couple of players who have contracts coming up. Herrera's is renewable, which is pretty nice. Or we could just start cutting into the arbitration years and sign him pretty much immediately. I mean, I wouldn't mind just going with the renewable deal because he's not that expensive, but you know, it might save us money in the short term. I mean, he has those 3 arbitration years up to 2030. Probably makes a little bit more sense to wait then. Pedro Perez Donkey, what's going on? How you been? Pedro's not like that bad. He is coming off of a torn ACL. He's got renewable time. And then Pozo he's terrible. I mean, he's a deep potential. He's going to keep getting worse. Seems like there isn't a crazy amount of high potential prospects, which is good. Exactly, though. You mentioned it, right? What's it going to be in subsequent years? That'll be the thing to look out for. Well, for the most part, most of these guys, renewable contracts, arbitration years. There's really nobody that we absolutely have to go for right now. I can't believe the Rangers offered us Evan Carter, but we'll take that. Newbar's still got some arbitration time. I think we're good. JoJo's got some arbitration time. Lodolo. I mean, there's nobody I have to re-sign right now. Cool. All right, well, let's keep losing some games then, shall we? We want some lottery luck heading into next year. And somehow we're actually winning a decent amount of games this month. Wow. So 61-77 as of September 1st. We're only 7 games back of the Pirates, which is kind of nuts. I can't believe we just won that many games, though. Like, our roster's not good. Not at all. But we'll do one more look at our roster here. Strauss is out 3 to 4 weeks with a broken hand. We want to make sure some of the younger players are getting some playing time now at a level above. So like Gavin Collins, let's just send you down for the moment. Because we could have De La Cruz be the AAA starter. And we can have Bernal try to be the AA starter. Not going to be able to send that dude down. So yeah, since I don't want Collins to be playing above, let's put Jimmy Crooks in AAA. Ryan Campos up in the double. Arenado should send us a thank you card. The Cubs are leading the division. I mean, again, we got out from underneath that contract, and they were the ones to offer the deal, too, which is crazy. Of course, we didn't get out of the Contreras deal, but that's okay. I'm aware of the call-ups, too. I'm taking a look to see if there's anyone I actually want to call up. Jordan Walker is pretty much a slam dunk. Let's drop... I know Redmond's hot right now, but he doesn't really have a future on this team. Let's drop him down to double. Just to make sure that he and Murray are both starters for where they're playing. Second base is rough right now. Very, very rough. I mean, Gorman's fine. We might just have extra shortstops. I don't know. Maybe extra outfielders. I mean, because we have Ramon Mendoza on the roster. Aside from that, it just kind of is what it is. Mendlinger can go down to double. Starting third baseman right now is Jacob Buckberger, which is horrific. No disrespect to the Buckberger. But we'll see what we're dealing with. Got the extra shortstop. DeVries fractured his hand. That sucks. Got those guys in single. Barrero's out 6 months with an Achilles injury. Well, we might as well then go with Jose Fermin on the AAA roster. Whoops. Dude, we have so many injuries at the AAA level. Weatherholt can be the AA starter. No matter what, Rivas is a depth option, so Jonathan Miea will go up to triple just to cover. Outfield, of course, Evan Carter could get the call up right now, as could Jordan Walker. Or we just leave him down in AAA for a little bit longer heading into next season. And then fucking Antico. Honestly, that's probably the best way to do it. How late are you playing the stream tonight? I don't know. Could be a long one. Could be. I don't have too much planned tomorrow. My wife has the fucking stomach flu, so we're not going anywhere. All right, let's see. Those guys can all stay in triple for the moment. Okay, so let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Triple A is 1, 2, 3, 4. Double A is 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect, honestly. What's the draft pitcher starting? Triple A or double? Depends on what the rest of the roster looks like heading into next year. Because the starting pitching core needs to be like completely retooled. I don't necessarily like to rush players. Like Quinn Matthews, if he's not at a 75, I think he'll start in AAA again. And I have no problem just signing veterans that suck just to eat up innings as best they can. Nick Lodolo, by the way, has already gone up a couple of points since the Reds offered him to us. So good stuff. Baffle. Sweet, beautiful Baffle. How are you, my man? I hope you were doing well. Ferris as well. That's an actual single A logo. Yeah, what's weird is it didn't identify the teams at the start of franchise, though. I thought that was weird. All right, and then, of course, speaking of which here, let's try to take inventory on the pitching, as bad as it is, because we have tried to tear this bad boy down. I'm going to have to reset a bunch of this, but that is okay. I just kind of wanted to take a look. Yeah, I'm going to have to reset a bunch of that. That's okay. So starters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, honestly. That's fine. I mean, with the extra roster space. So we have 1, 2. McGreevy goes back up. 3, 4, and 5. And then double A is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. God, yeah. Case in point, like the starting pitching just needs to be totally retooled. And then relievers, we have 1, 2. Well, let's see. 1. I don't even know who the hell I want to look to call up. I mean, again, I could call up some of the options in the outfield to get like Carter and company, Carter and Walker a bit more time, but it might just be better suited for them to stick around down. Well, we do have plenty of outfielders, though. That is probably where the extra player will come from. 4, 5, 6, 7 relievers. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, let's do it that way. So Evan Carter's coming up, as is Jordan Walker. And whoever's in, we got 2 guys in double that need to get called up. And then we'll work out the single A numbers shortly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 with reverse, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That works. It does work. Technically, we can call up some of these other guys elsewhere to fill in some of those positions, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's not great. It's pretty much all I could say in regards to this team. Like, it was kind of rough in the first place. It's not much better now. But we'll see what happens through September. Let's take a look at what our rotation is right now. So Sonny Gray is down 8 overall points this season. Again, easy mode would have been to trade him away instantly, but where's the fun in that, We'll just suffer with that contract. It's him, Lodolo, Andre Payante, Drew Rom, and Zane Mills. With Ian Bedell, Matthew Liberatore, Zach Thompson, Kyle Leahy, John King, Ryan Fernandez, Nick Anderson, and JoJo Romero. How many saves could you possibly have? 15. Jesus. What's the lineup looking like? Nootbaar, Wynn, Herrera, Gorman, Burleson, Contreras, Walker is playing. You got Vierling and Buckberger. So we'll see how much of a look Evan Carter gets. Yeah, even against the lefties, he's still not in. I could make that change, but I'm not too worried about it. Any young prospects in the league? We'll take a look again at the top 100 at the start of next year because it's changed a bit. But, well, actually, you know, we did make some acquisitions. So Roman Anthony is now number 1 because obviously Roki Sasaki played for the Dodgers this season. But let's take a look. Now that some of these guys ended up graduating up to the bigs, some of them are on the Major League club right now. Christian Campbell nearly dropped out of the top 10. But let's see. So Quinn Matthews is up to number 16. And Leodalis DeVries is number 18, who we acquired in a trade earlier this year. Again, it was an offered trade. I didn't even use the trade finder. So, I mean, we got some players up there that weren't there before. Do we have anybody else in the mix for us? I mean, if not, as it is, our pool is already looking better than it was at the start of the year. Tink Hence at number 55. So, I mean, we got a couple of pieces. Weatherholt now at 65. Connor Herp. Please tell me it's Herp. Please tell me it's Cooper Herp, not Connor Herpy. Please tell me it's Cooper Herp. I'm begging you. Please tell me it's Cooper Herp. God. And Takoa Arobi as well. I mean, he's a C potential starting pitcher. I'm not really holding on to hope there. And Michael McGreevy's also on the list. So, you know, we got some shouts there. We had 7 dudes on the top 100 right now. That is absolutely going to change by the time next season rolls around. So, I don't know. Let's see how the rest of the season goes. Doesn't look like we'll lose 100 games. AAA Ball Club does not make the playoffs. AA Ball Club fails to make the playoffs. No surprises there. And we finish with a record in Season 1 of 71-91. Totally fair. The playoffs, it ends up being Cleveland and New York. Winner plays Minnesota. Houston and Detroit. Winner plays Baltimore. On the other side, San Diego and Arizona. Winner plays the Dodgers. Cubs and Braves. Winner plays Philadelphia. Let's take a look at how this season panned out. Of course, the Cubs were the only team to make it from the NL Central. We finished just 1 game behind Pittsburgh. That's kind of nuts, dude. How bad is that team aside from Paul Skeens? NL East, you had the Phillies and Braves make it. The Marlins, just 56 wins. We certainly could not out-tank them. We're going to need some lottery luck. Then the NL West, Dodgers, Padres, Diamondbacks all make the playoffs. The Rockies losing 111 games. There are some tough teams to out-tank, even with our depleted roster. So yeah, I mean, National League-wise, we finished ahead of the Nats, the Marlins, and the Rockies. For the AL East, you had the Orioles and the Yankees make it. The Rays on 75 wins in the basement. Twins, Guards, and Tigers all made it out of the Central. White Sox only lost 101 games. It could have been, and probably should have been, so much worse. And then in the AL West, Astros the only team to make it on just 85 wins. Angels only with 66. Colorado sure had a rocky season. You're lucky. I really should end the stream off of that. I really should. That was atrocious. So a reminder, 71 wins for us. 3 teams were worse than us in the National League. Only 2 teams were worse in the American League. So not looking too good from a lottery perspective, but we are technically in the lottery, right? With the top 6 pick. So we got that going for us. Let us take a look at some stats on the year. For our starters, Nick Lodolo led the way in wins, as you would hope. I mean, sub-4 ERA. Sonny Gray went 6-15, down 9 overall over the course of the season, which is atrocious. He still had a sub-4 ERA. And then it did some roster remanagement, so... Liberatore had 8 wins as a reliever. That's pretty good. 19 saves for Jojo Romero. And Nick Anderson, our closer after Ryan Helsley was traded, was atrocious. So Herrera this season, good improvement. Ivan Herrera, 11 dingers, 55 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, a 799 OPS. Pretty happy with that. He might not be the next Yachty, but that's not bad at all. And then first base, Wilson Contreras, 17 home runs, 73 RBI, 735 OPS. Yeah, and there's super short window for that. Not that I don't want to step outside and look at the moon, but, you know. Second base, Nolan Gorman, 22 dingers, 58 RBI, 682 OPS, and a 221 average. He might just end up being a dude for us for now. Third baseman, Jacob Buckberger, 8 home runs, 28 RBI, and a 751 OPS. Damn. Mason Winn at shortstop, 13 and 54, 718 OPS. Michael Hellman honestly didn't do as bad as you'd expect a 68 overall to do at the plate. Vierling and Carter. Of course, Carter mostly played with Texas prior to the trade. He actually did a little bit better at the plate than Vierling. Not in terms of average, but the on-base percentage certainly helped. So, yeah, I can't imagine we'll be holding on to Vierling for too long. We'll see. Center field, Alcantara was a midseason pickup. Yeah, it dropped down the guy who was playing there. Burleson, 22 dingers, 65 RBI. Really good season at the plate for Burleson. Nootbaar wasn't too bad either. Jordan Walker only had 72 plate appearances and did not do so hot. So, as I said, we're going to take our time with some of our younger guys. We'll look at the awards at the end of the season, but league leaders, National League batting average, Juan Soto at a 321. Freddie Freeman, Seiya Suzuki, Bryce Harper, and Young Julia round out the top 5. Hit leader was Seiya Suzuki on 195, just ahead of Freddie Freeman. Let's see. Home run leader was Kyle Tucker on 58. So look out for Kyle Tucker from a franchise perspective because he's going to be insane. Schwaba also did pretty well. He's Hoskins up there for the Brewers. RBI leader was Kyle Tucker on 145. Schwarber and Seiya Suzuki each had great seasons, honestly. Connor Norby. Wow. Connor Norby was up there for the Marlins. All right. It was a second-round pick, but still. Stolen base leader, Xavier Edwards. Xavier Edwards up there. For the Marlins, Acuna on 43. Bryce Terang was up there, too. Most walks, Kyle Schwarber, and he still had a crap load of dingers. He had the best on-base percentage, even over Harper and Soto. Tucker had the best slugging percentage and OPS. He, Schwarber, and Soto, the only 3 over a 1.0. Wins leader, Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers, of course, 22 wins. Paul Skeens on 19, which is very impressive given how bad the Pirates were. The fact that he went 19-5 is insane. What was his WAR rating this year? It should be through the goddamn roof. 6.3? It should have been higher. Screw the math. It should have been higher. Save leader, Alexis Diaz for the Reds, 52. And lowest ERA was Michael King. Dude, Skeens on a 2.24. Good lord. Crazy. Strikeout leader, Tyler Glasnow. He and Skeens both broke 200. Spencer Strider would have if he didn't get hurt. Fair enough. So for pitching WAR this year, it was Paul Skeens, Glasnow, and King, each over at least a 5. Batting WAR, Mookie Betts almost hit an 8. Schwarber, Tucker, Ketel Marte, Juan Soto, and Freddie Freeman all at least a 7. Damn. American League-wise, Gleyber Torres had the highest batting average over Donovan Solano. Jarren Duran was also up there. Hit leader, Gleyber Torres, beat Duran by 1. The home run king, Arson Judge, 54 of them. Nobody else had more than 43 with Rooker and Santander. RBI king was Aaron Judge, Rooker and Santander. Mariners mentioned, let's go. Stolen base leader, Andreas Jimenez, 41. Beat out David Hamilton and Seattle's Victor Robles. Walk leader, Aaron Judge. On base leader, Aaron Judge. Slugging percentage leader, Aaron Judge. OPS leader, Aaron Judge, the only one to have over a 1.0. Your wins leader with 20, Pablo Lopez for the Twins. You had Shane Bieber up there as well for the Guardians. Save leader, Griffin Jacks, 48. Just beating out old Clace and Tyler Holton. ERA leader, Tariq Skubal, a sub 2.0. Lopez was there. Garrett Cole, of course, ended up playing. And in terms of strikeouts, Pablo Lopez, the only one to break 200. Skubal and David Festa was up there. So, let's take a look. Pitching WAR leader, Skubal is up there. Lopez, the only two over a 5.0. And batting WAR, an 8.1 for Aaron Judge in Season 1. Nobody else had more than a 7. So, as expected, Aaron Judge was insane. We need to find out how the playoffs are going to progress, as it ends up being Yankees and Twins, Tigers and Orioles, Padres, Dodgers, Cubs, and Phillies. Yeah, it's just a little bit easier, like sim a week at a time. ALCS ends up being Detroit and Minnesota, while it's Dodgers and Cubs on the National League side. Man, the Phillies just cannot stop choking in the playoffs, can they? I mean, granted, the Yankees got beat by Minnesota. So a crazy result there for Minnesota and Detroit. And we'll see what the end result ends up being. Dodgers have made it to the World Series. And Twins and Tigers go to a Game 7. There you have it. The 2025 World Series. Dodgers and Twins. Minnesota, led by Buxton, Correa, Lopez, Lewis, Griffin Jacks, Joe Ryan. I mean, they do have a strong roster. David Festa had a really good year, as we saw. Good old Harrison Bader. He got out of St. Louis just in time, as in a couple years ago. But then, obviously, the expectation, right? I mean, this Dodgers roster, dude, it's... Even with Will Smith being injured, I can't imagine in the sim them losing. Let's find out. It's going to Game 7. Wow. You know, people call the Dodgers roster a video game roster, and yet people might be able to call the video game unrealistic if the Dodgers lose the series. World Series champs in 2025, the Minnesota Twins beat the Dodgers. I was not expecting that, to say the least. Led by World Series MVP Matt Wallner. The 357 average throughout the series. Postseason MVP had Correa over Wallner, who continued his hot pace, whereas Freeman, Ohtani, and Hernandez led the way for the Dodgers. The Minnesota Twins on top of the mountain in 2025. Aaron Judge wins AL MVP, no surprise. Kyle Tucker wins NL MVP. No surprise. AL Cy Young goes to Pablo Lopez. No surprise. There was an argument for El Tariq, but, you know. NL Cy Young goes to Tyler Glasnow. No surprise there whatsoever. 0. Although Paul Skeens was the most valuable pitcher, easily. Batting title, Gleyber Torres, of course. We already saw that. And Juan Soto, the National League side. Reliever of the year, Griffin Jax. Does get the nod over the old Clase, the Clace. While NL-wise, Alexis Diaz, no surprise there. And shout out to Ryan Walker being voted above Tanner Scott despite 10 fewer saves. AL Rookie of the Year, Kobe Mayo for the O's. Ahead of Jacob Wilson and Colson Montgomery. NL Rookie of the Year, Roki Sasaki. Over Isung Kim and Griffin Conine. I wonder what Jeff Conine's up to right about now. What's Jeff Conine doing? I wonder. Probably just... Well, granted with how late it is, he's probably fucking sleeping. But I hope you're doing well, Jeff. Hope you're doing well. And then, of course, Hank Aaron Award. And then the Gold Gloves and such, which I'm never too worried about Gold Gloves and Silver Sluggers as much. That is season 1 in the books. Minnesota wins the World Series, and we lost Pop Warner. Football will never be the same without Pop Warner.